Welcome everybody to F1RL Tier 2 Round 4 Hungary. Around the Hungarian ring. We are joined by a lot of famous people in here. We've got the likes of Shredded, we've got the likes of Andy Moore, we've even got the likes of the Jamaican Bacon racing today. I believe Andy Moore is also streaming. So, let's hope he isn't stealing all the viewers. But let's see what we can do here around the Hungarian ring. We want to see some good times in qualifying, as we are only joined today by 10 drivers due to a lot of late dropouts from some of the drivers in Tier 2. But here is our grid for today. X Zoink, Elite Shots, Dilb, Nova, the Jamaican Bacon, Lizard Toes, Andy Moore, Face Kermit, Shredded Meats, and Dom Dizzy Mizzy. Or Domizzy. So it's looking good. It's looking like it is going to be a good race here today. But let's kind of figure out who's going to be on pole today. I think Andy Moore is going to come out here. Maybe to be the first driver on track. That Red Bull mechanic is moving. And he is on track. Zoink or Zonic is saying he's going to spin around like a record. But I've got a feeling there's going to be some good times up in today's grid. Let's get some nice cinematics of this Red Bull though. And he is running manual gears, no assists on. We'll find out soon if that's going to give him some pace around the Hungarian ring, or if that's going to slowly deplicit his race. But I've got a feeling he's going to be fast. Aiming for a 1 minute 17, Andy is. Let's see what he can do. Who do we also have out on track then? We have the likes of the Jamaican Bacon in the Williams. Lovely there from that driver. Lovely stuff. Looking to aim high. Time trial leaderboards do say he is one of the favourites to win this race today. The likes of Dom Dizzy Mizzy as well. Very fast driver. Looking like he could do some danger to that podium. But who's going to get pole? Will it be Dom Dizzy Mizzy or Dom Mizzy? Or will it be the Jamaican Bacon? I've got a feeling it might be the Jamaican Bacon, but you never know. This Mercedes driver right here, Elite Shots, could also step into that pole position with ease. Fast driver in Tier 2 yet again. This Tier 2 grid is stacked of drivers so far. We haven't even came to mention the likes of Nova yet. Neither Shredded as well. The Alpines having a brilliant season so far. However, maybe not as good there from the Alpine driver. I think he thought the others were on laps. No one's quite yet completed a lap. No need to go off track yet. But the likes of Nova, very fast driver. The likes of Shredded, also a very fast driver. Not coming out straight away. Maybe some late adjustments to his setup could change a lot here. We'll find out shortly anyway. See where that Alpine can put himself. Zonic set a 17.1. Andy Moore has gone provisional pole. 16.7. Faster than FaZe Kermit. Up in provisional P2. What will Elite Shots set though? I've got a feeling it's going to be fast. Dilb's gone P4 with a 26.1. Elite Shots goes pole, hopefully. We'll find out very shortly. Or no, he was on a provisional outlap. I'm not sure about that one. But we have had the likes of Jamaican Bacon 21.1. Lizard Toes 16.9. But Andy Moore is having a sensational time. Beating that gap, or beating that goal of his that he has set for a 1:17 flat. But he is fastest currently on track. Some brilliant racing there from Andy Moore. Hopefully he can stay there. We'll find out soon though. We'll find out soon. The likes of Elite Shots. Very fast driver. Hopefully on a lap. In fact, let's actually quickly check. Let's get the telemetry on. That battery is draining. So I think he might be on a lap here. Can Elite Shots go pole though? Let's find out here. Not a lot of time left in this lap. Around the last corner. And to the line. It's provisional pole for Elite Shots. 16.613. What's Jamaican Bacon going to set though? Now on his lap. We'll ride on board with this lap here from the Williams driver. This Williams driver has got pace. He's up there with the fastest. Demizzi only just clearing Andy Moore's time. Andy might be cooking here. We could see an Andy Moore victory here today, potentially. I know it's early to call it, but there's potential. Oh, Jamaican Bacon's had a bit of a moment there. That's going to affect his lap. Will he still set the lap, though? I don't think he will. Let's go on to the likes of Shredded or Nova. I think Nova's on a lap here, potentially. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. But we'll ride on board with it anyway. We're here for it. What can Nova set? Actually, I don't think Nova is on a lap. So let's go to Shredded Meats. A veteran rookie. A rookie in terms of getting poles and podiums. But a veteran in racing. Jamaican Bacon deciding not to pit. Very interesting. Not got enough battery to go again, but is going to go again. Thinking maybe he can beat his previous time. A little bit late on the throttle there. Not the best entry line into that first corner. Not quite using most of the track there. But I think this is an in-lap from the Jamaican Bacon. The Mizzy, though. Is he on a lap here? I'm not 100% sure. That battery is ticking down, so maybe he might be. That battery's ticked down a bit too much, though. I don't know if this is going to be an improvement. But we shall figure it out very shortly here. It's a good line into the last corner. Early on the power. And to the line, Demizzi goes. Will it be an improvement? It will be an improvement. Not quite enough to knock the likes of Elite Shots off of that pole, though. Surprised to see Andy Moore not coming out the pits yet. Probably still celebrating that provisional pole. In third currently when it comes to qualifying, and it's close. Let's go on board with Lizard Toes, potentially on a lap here. Batteries ticking down. As we will see, these drivers slowly pick up their times. Let's actually turn on the telemetry so we can see these times. Probably would have been a good idea. Lizard Toes is on an outlap, burning that battery. I assume because the battery is burning that it would be a lap starting. But it's looking like it's not going to be. Not a fast time here from the likes of Lizardos by the looks of it. Going to be hard to break that 7 or the 16.9s at least. Especially with not a lot of battery left over. Dilb though is on a lap. Let's go on board with Dilb here. So I believe now Andy is also going out on a lap. Dilb's lap so far is looking very nicely. It's tidy. Maybe it could be a few purple sectors into Sector 2. A bit heavy on that curb, and he has backed off of that. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Needs to get off the track if there is any oncoming drivers. Lizardos is now in Sector 2. Sees Dilb pull into the right side of the track. A little bit of impeding there because a lot of drivers like to swing it very wide. Maybe Lizardos doesn't. Who knows? 3 temps up here from Lizardos though. No battery remains. It's going to be hard to set this lap and get a good time. Maybe a 1/10 improvement is on the cards for the likes of Lizardos. Who knows? Round the last corner anyway, to the line, to cross the line for a 16.6, higher than the Andy Moore, higher than the teammate Red Bull. But that teammate Red Bull is now on a lap. So we shall find out, or we're about to see what Andy Moore can do. Cooked in the first one. Can he cook in the second? Let's find out now. So Andy to now start his lap. Coming up to the first corner. You want to be as far to the left as possible. Braking at the 100-meter board. Lovely stuff there from Andy. Using as much track on exit as possible. It's brilliant first corner from Andy Moore there. Down into the left-hander, downhill. Not bad from Andy there. Good speed on the exit. This could be a purple sector 1 here. Will it be? It's not quite a purple sector 1. And that's an invalidation from Andy Moore there. Just got a little bit too aggressive on that curb. And track limits has ended that lap. I think Nova's also had a similar problem there. Because that is not looking good on those curbs for sure. I think Andy might actually go again for another lap here, just charging up his battery by the looks of it. Not quite doing it effectively though. We do know that F1 cars charge more battery when lifting the throttle completely and focusing on the brakes. But Andy is going to go around the final corner. Not going to have a lot of straight line speed going into the first corner. So this could affect the first corner and first sector a lot. But that is a good lock up there from Andy, using the brakes very effectively into the left-hander. Looks to have touched the curb on the inside, which is very impressive to keep the car steady still. Will it be a purple sector 1 though? Not quite. Making sure he stays in those track limits. Elite Shots goes pole with a 16.3. Not bad at all. And he's not normally a fast driver, but today he's proven that he has got the pace to charge and potentially look for a championship or so. Or at least a race win. P4 currently in the qualifying standings. I believe 1/10 down. That could be mainly to do with battery. But Andy Moore round the final corner and to cross the line. Not quite an improvement. A 16.8. Slightly slower than his first original lap. Not too bad at all from Andy Moore. But it's not what you want to see if you're an Andy Moore fan. The Mizzy, though, already in pole with a 15.938. Invalid this lap. Looks to be his in lap anyway. But these times are starting to rack up dramatically. The Jamaican Bacon's out. What can the Williams driver do? He's cooked in time trial all day. Now, can he do it in the race? I know he's got a great setup on that Williams. So we'll find out how great that setup truly is very shortly. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you have your time booked off tomorrow at 7 o'clock for F1RL Tier 1, where we will see some very nice racing around Hungary as well. Purple Sector 1 for the Jamaican Bacon. Well played so far. Braking at the 50-meter board to the entry of this corner. Wants to use as much of the curb as possible. Not quite enough used there. But still great rotation in that Williams car. A little bit of a lift. Not necessary, but 6 temps up currently. It's looking like it's a brilliant lap so far. Into Sector 3. What can the Jamaican Bacon do? Will he put it on pole? Very strong chance so far. And to the line he goes. P2. 1/10 away. Not too bad at all. Will the likes of Andy Moore be going out for a third lap though? Not too sure. Pharrell, chuck us an invite. I'll get you in, Pharrell. There you go, my friends. Try and get a seat in quick and maybe a setup on. But hop on in as soon as possible. Face Kermit, 2 temps up here. Looking to try and jump Andy Moore in the qualifying standings. I think Andy's not going to go out. He had an opportunity, but I think he might now be saving it for the race. Of course, the recommended tyres is mediums to the hards. So maybe Andy is setting a set of softs for a potential chance of a soft safety car period. Zonic, haven't mentioned him too much. He's been very quiet this qualifying session. Currently sat in P8, looking like he is a little bit off the pace. But someone who is off the pace is one of the podium sitters in the Alpines. Both of them not doing very well. 17s all around the board for the 2 Alpines. Shredded Meats struggling by the looks of it. Nova also struggling. It's going to be interesting to see who actually comes out on top between these 2 Alpines. But we have just seen Nova crash into a wall. And there is Jamaican Bacon parked. Messed up that last lap by the looks of it. That Aston as well of Exonic also beached by the looks of it. Not quite beached, but out of the way for sure. Retires from the session. Shredded 2 temps down. Not going to improve. Demizzi into the wall. Lizard Toes 4 temps down. And I think that will be our qualifying order. Demizzi in pole on that front row. A lot of drivers crashing into walls. Will the Jamaican Bacon do some donuts? We never know. Missing that front right end plate. That qualifying lap isn't going to happen. But I think that will be our qualifying order. Of course, this driver wants to speed it up so he can watch his beloved Liverpool because they are playing against Fulham, I believe. But this Williams is looking to go into the pits now. Save those soft tyres. Early yet slow into the pits from the Williams driver. What is he doing? He only needs to finish. Oh, he was slowing so Pharrell could join. But I think it might be a little bit too late. That could be my bad on my behalf. But that is going to be our qualifying order anyway. Let's see if there was any incidents in terms of... Wow, there's a lot of track limits. So we had the likes of all of these track limits speeding in the pits. Luckily, there was no impeding by the looks of it. But Elite Shots, 3rd place in the qualifying order. Not bad at all. Demizzi takes pole though. The Jamaican Bacon joins Demizzi on that front row. Elite Shots just behind them. Lizard Toes on the 2nd row. Dilb on the 3rd row. Kermit also on the 3rd row in 6th. Andy Moore starting on the 4th row in 7th. Unsurprising considering he had some very good pace towards the beginning there. But of course, that 7/10 gap between 1st and 7th, it's going to be hard for Andy to climb the leaderboards. Zoink takes 8th, Nova takes 9th, and Shredded Meats takes 10th. The Alpines have got some work to do to climb the pecking order, but these Alpines have fight. They're hungry for it. We're in Hungary. They're hungry. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully no safety cars. The preferred strategy here today would be the medium hards. I will reiterate medium hards as much as possible. The medium hards will be the preferred strategy, I believe. Probably the faster strategy as well, with I believe minus I think 0.5 laps of fuel, or maybe 0.6 laps of fuel. I'm not too sure, but either way, you will be able to regain that back. I'm 99% sure. So all the drivers that are watching the stream, there's your tips for the day. Medium hards, 0.6 less of fuel. If you want to go safe, 0.4 less. But it's 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away they have gone. On board now with Dilb, trying to get past Lizard Toes. We will look towards the back of the pack. The 2 Alpines down the inside. 3 wide into that first corner. A little bit of contact there made with one of the Alpines and Dilb. I believe that was Nova. Both Alpines up into 7th and 8th from the start. The Jamaican Bacon up into 1st. Wow, there's a lot happening. Zoink down the pecking order in 10th. Pharrell down in 11th. Pharrell now making an overtake on that Aston Martin. Not quite enough speed to stay on track though. Elite Shots, not a bad start from him so far. Sitting in 3rd, qualifying in 3rd. Of course, got jumped. No, didn't get jumped by the Jamaican Bacon. The Jamaican Bacon starting 2nd, jumps to Mizzy, and leads the race currently on those soft tyre compound. Looks to beat a lot of these drivers on the soft tyres. Let's have a little look at the position changes. And now let's have a little look on tyres. The medium hards are favoured by the likes of it of 5 drivers. 5 drivers also choosing the soft tyres, and the 1 driver being Lizard Toes, being brave and sitting on those hard compound tyres. as there is a gap starting to form between the likes of the AlphaTauri in 4th and the Mercedes in 3rd. It's all to play for. Lap 1, no safety car. Here are the strategies. Medium to hards look like the best strategy for Elite Shots. Boxing around lap 17, but I've got a feeling the undercut is very powerful around this track. So a lot of these drivers will be boxing around 16. Phase Kermit though, just outside of that 1.6 second gap. That Mercedes is flying away from him. Andy Moore as well, slowly losing the back of the two Alpines. Down in 9th now. Is Andy struggling? I'm not too sure. Maybe the setup was only optimized for qualifying. We'll have to keep an eye on those times set by Andy Moore. As there is an Alpine around, drop the rears. Farrell into the side of it. That could be a safety car. By the looks of it, it won't be a safety car. Zoink. Undamaged, luckily. But Nova is damaged. The reputation's damaged. A spin like that, not what you want to see. Farrell caught in the crossfire. Unlucky to be in that Williams so far. Demizzi, 3-second time penalty. Multiple track limit warnings. These penalties will slowly creep up on these drivers if they are keeping doing this. Let's quickly check the lap times of Jamaican Bacon. Currently setting very nice lap times. When it comes to incident-wise, there are a lot of track limit extensions so far. But by the looks of it, I don't see the Jamaican Bacon's name on here. So with Jamaican Bacon potentially playing it careful, the Haas dives down the inside. Of course, with that 3-second penalty, the Williams driver can sit behind him. As long as he stays within that 3-second gap. No need to defend from Elite Shots on those medium tyres. The softs will start to die out very soon though. But the Jamaican Bacon looks to the outside. Around the outside. Looks to have got the position. Down into turn 3. Has the position. Jamaican Bacon now leads once again. Some exciting battles coming up. What Jamaican Bacon really needs is Elite Shots to try and make a move on the Mizzy here in that Haas. Because that Haas has got the softer tyres with the better grip. Of course, Jamaican Bacon also has those same soft tyres. But it would be nice to have some breathing room from the likes of Dom Mizzy. A 2-stop is very viable around Hungary. However, could end up losing you a lot of time depending on how your stints are. The medium hards is the most optimal of the strategies. Boxing on lap 14 to change onto the hards is very viable as well, and going hards till the end. But towards the end, anyone else on those hard tyres will be catching up. Because those hard tyres will be dying. But we have a little battle here between X-Zonic and Shredder Meats in the Alpine. But just behind, Andy Moore can actually see the tail end of this battle. Andy might even try and get involved at some point in this battle. But by the looks of it, Zonic, he's that little bit faster than the likes of the two drivers behind him, Andy Moore and Shredded Meats. Nova, though, completely dropped off. Has pitted 37 seconds behind. Still somehow ahead of Pharrell. But then again, Pharrell is on a Nintendo Switch. Back to the front then. These three drivers all within 2 tenths of each other. It's going to be very interesting to see when the likes of the Jamaican Bacon decides to go into the pits for some new tyres. But I'm here for it. Of course, soft to mediums, it can work, but it's very dangerous to work. 3 wide almost going into the first corner. By the looks of it, the softs are dying off. Elite Shots looking to be slightly faster. Looks to the inside, backs out. Doesn't want to cause any contact. These are 3 of the cleanest drivers in Tier 2. A little snap there from the Williams. Lets the Haas catch up to the back of him. Look at the grip though from Elite Shots. Just that so much extra grip on those medium tyres compared to the softs of the Mizzy. The softs should start dropping off around lap 7. Or maybe even now by the looks of it. Because those mediums are a little bit faster with that extra grip. Side by side, the Mercedes and the Haas down into the penultimate corner. I think the Haas just might have edged it. Looks to have edged it. Has edged it. And the rest of the pack is slowly catching up. Face Kermit, 2 laps go. 1.6, 1.7 behind. Now only 1.5 behind. Of course, without that DRS is slowly losing time. But the Mizzy has now gone for a move on the likes of the Jamaican Bacon. Side by side into turn 3. Can the Mizzy go for a switchback? Brilliantly blocked there from the Jamaican Bacon. Backs out slightly, the Mizzy does. A little bit spinny. A little bit of contact made there from the Mercedes driver. The Mizzy goes wide. Face Kermit goes through. Dilb almost goes through, but not quite enough left on him. There could be an incident here happening soon. The Mizzy dropping down the order. The softs not softing enough. Not enough grip in those tyres. Declining, degrading. And there's contact between Dilb and the Mizzy. A little tap on the rear there from Dilb. The Mizzy drops places. Zonic overtakes by the looks of it. Makes the overtake. Dilb just outbraking himself. Collecting the back of the Mizzy. Stewards will look into it, of course, if reported. But this has allowed Andy Moore to catch up to the back of Dilb. And potentially a move could be on for Andy here. Going into turn 4. Dilb using all of his battery, now flashing under 10%, under 20% I believe. Or it could be under 10%. I don't fully remember when the flashing is. All is what that is. When the car's flashing in front of you, it's a sign to put your foot down and make the overtakes. Andy is aware of the Haas's situation and aware of how close he needs to be. Keep your distance through the S corners. The Haas, of course, on the 7-lap-old soft tyres, they should be losing grip. But one person that isn't losing grip by the looks of it is the Jamaican Bacon. 1.1 seconds ahead now. Oh, that 1 second gap is slowly dropping. But I think he might just have enough space in these tyres to potentially keep the likes of Elite Shots out of DRS. I feel like Elite Shots is using ERS. Let's find out. He is inside of the pit window for the medium compound tyres though. It'll be interesting to see when he decides to box. I feel like the Jamaican Bacon needs to box sometime soon onto those hard compound tyres. Can he extend for 2 more laps though? If he can, he has had an amazing stint. But of course, the tyres will be slow. They will be slidey. And we'll find out if the Jamaican Bacon can do it. face Kermit on the back of Elite Shots. Slowly catching up to Elite Shots, in fact. Only 3 drivers with time penalties after 9 laps. Andy Moore down in 8th position. Slowly catching to Demizzi, but not quite enough. A lot of these other drivers have got past Demizzi now. Considering he's on those soft tyres, they should be dropping off. Andy should have a lot more speed. Of course, Andy on yellow fuel. So it looks to be Andy, Nova. Andy and Nova, but only 2 drivers to take my advice on getting the less fuel in the car for that better top speed on the straights at least. Andy potentially hoping for a safety car though, needing to charge that fuel up. A little bit of fuel saving needs to come into play soon around lap 17 to lap 20ish. But Jamaican Bacon is still leading this race on the 9-lap-old soft tyres. We have seen the likes of some of these drivers box onto the medium tyres already. Lizard Toes starting on the hard tyres, boxed to the mediums already. The mediums working a little bit better by the looks of it for some of these drivers. But I think that was a bit of an early box there from Lizard Toes. On the alternate strategy, there was potential for a lot more on that strategy. As we'll see, Jamaican Bacon go for another lap here on those softs. Nearly approaching 10-lap-olds. He needs to box, really. Box for those hard tyres. It'll be a stretch on them, but very possible. Or maybe even the 2-stop could be on the cards. But that is a wonderful move from the Jamaican Bacon. Down the inside into turn 1. DRS enabled going into turn 2 and 3. That was a lovely move there from the Williams driver. His Williams driver knows what he is racing. He knows what is at stake. He took the gamble and started on the softs. Is taking the gamble staying out on the softs. Would be amazing to see how much tyre wear these softs are on. We need this in the next F1 game to see how much tyre wear each driver has got. Because at the moment, I'm thinking the Jamaican Bacon probably has about 50% tyre wear. A little lock up there going into the penultimate corner. Marbles on the tyres, won't have the grip on the exit. Overtake on, DRS activated. Down the inside once again, the Jamaican goes. The Jamaican Bacon through. And a lovely corner. But it's in the wall from the Jamaican Bacon. The soft tyres not quite working. The grip has been lost. Needs to box now, surely. Is his front wing damaged though? Doesn't... Oh, he's missing an end plate. Front right end plate. Not what you want to be missing, especially around Hungary. He's going to lose so much time to the likes of Zoink now, as well as Andy, as well as maybe even Lizardos and Domizzi. Domizzi could jump the Jamaican Bacon here after this pit stop. He should jump the Jamaican Bacon after the pit stop at least. But now these 2 drivers, the likes of F1 Andy Moore and the likes of Zonic, have now gone through. A little bit of contact there from the Red Bull. Accidental contact by the looks of it. Looks to be fine though, driving fine. Is he going to box? Not boxing. The Jamaican Bacon is though. Where will this man come out of the pits? We will never know. Andy Moore though up into 4th now. looking towards the pit territory now. Jamaican Bacon into the pits. Zonic following. Shredded. Demizzi passing. Passing by a lot as well. The Jamaican Bacon needs to just use Zonic here as almost DRS train. He needs Zonic to find the pace and to find a lot more. Or just go for the move. And he has made the move. Andy is in the wall. Believe that is up near turn 7. Not the best from Andy Moore there, but it is a full course safety car. Almost perfect timing for the front runners here. Actually, I think that might be terrible timing for the front runners. No, it is perfect timing. As they were approaching the pit lane, easy swap onto the hard tyre compounds. And it will be hards till the end for a lot of these drivers. Be interesting to see what Andy does. Of course, he needs that front wing change. Will it be the soft tyres or will it be the hards? Could go soft mediums. I know he has that extra set of soft tyres available, but I feel like it might just be the hards. He might go safe on this. Missing the pit entry nearly into the pits though. Andy is probably very worried now on how he's going to get back into this race. But it looks to be the soft tyres. I thought it might be the soft tyres. And it is the soft tyres for Andy. Not quite sure what the strategy is now for Andy Moore. But it is going to be the softs. The Jamaican Bacon now ping onto the medium tyres. Not fully sure if they can make it all the way till the end, but it's worth a shot. Hard runners like the Dilb and Zonic here will be a lot faster. However, it's perfect time for the hards, but a lot of these drivers have fitted the medium compound tyres. What are the strategy choices here from these drivers? Some of them medium to medium, some of them hards to medium to hard for Dilb. The perfect strategy in my opinion. Zonic also medium to hard, but it looks to be a lot of double stoppers. So there could be those set of softs for Andy Moore could come into play here. If he can jump the likes of the Jamaican Bacon, maybe even Shredded Meats or Domizzi, get himself into around P5 before boxing for another set of mediums. He's gonna be in a very good position to potentially even win this race. Especially if where the likes of these medium tyres need to box. If he can get those softs running enough to catch up to these mediums, and then maybe box in a similar window to these medium compound tyres to more mediums for Andy, he could be in a good chance of winning this race. Let me just check if we can potentially get a little interview here with the Jamaican Bacon. We could. Let's join the Gamers VC in the F1RL Discord. If you want to join our Discord, I believe there is a link down below somewhere. But let's join it and ask what actually happens so far. And let's ask the Alpines as well, what is happening? What's happening, guys? You did. Yeah. The thing is, though, you're in a good position to still potentially win this race, especially with the front runners going medium. There's another pit stop in this race, so it'll be interesting to see who goes where. Ooh. Ooh. Let's go back into the commentary box there as drivers talk about strategies. Andy yet to box again. Full of that is common knowledge there. But it is going to be very interesting and very close between the likes of Elite Shots, FaZe Kermit, and potentially even Dilb to win this race. Another pit stops in it. Dilb currently net P1 in terms of pit stops. It's going to be interesting. Andy Moore needing to jump Zonic as soon as possible. But there's potential. Pharrell needing to close shortly. Doesn't actually need to push on these tyres. Needs to save these tyres as much as possible. Try and avoid the curbs. Stay in high gears. Save the tyre life. But welcome everyone in the chat to the Tier 2 race around Hungary. We've had an interesting start so far. We had the likes of Andy Moore pulling a shock result in qualifying. P4 for the majority of that qualifying session. Of course, it did drop down to P7 and now sat in P9. The likes of the Jamaican Bacon having a little bit of a driver error. Softs, no life. No life left on the softs, said the driver mid-race. The Alpines not having the best of the races either. And by the looks of it, Shredded Meats is going to get swamped. Especially being on those old medium tyre compounds. When a safety car comes out, you always have to box. Old tyres on a track like this is not where you want to be. The tyres will cool down and you'll lose a lot of grip. Especially on the safety car. I know that from experience. Old tyres around here is not where you want to be. So the likes of these new tyre runners, such as Andy Moore, Zonic, the Jamaican Bacon, and even Dom Izzy, I expect them to get past Shredded Meats within the first 3 laps of this safety car restart. But Shredded, you can now prove me wrong. I love to be proved wrong sometimes. But Lizard Toes will lead the restart for I think the first time ever in this driver's history at least. And by the looks of it, it's going to be a late restart. And by the looks of it, they've gone exit of the corner. Did not catch a lot of these drivers sleeping though. The Jamaican Bacon looking at going a little bit too wide. Round the outside of Demizzi, gets the position done. A little bit of contact there with Shredded Meats though. But it'll be enough. Shredded keeps the position on Demizzi. But again, dropping down the order as I predicted. Andy Moore though, not quite as I predicted. Down into P11 off that restart. Let's see what Andy can do. A little bit of battery maybe needs to be used. But there is an Alpine across. Contact collecting Andy Moore. Not what you want to see. Nova. Very unfortunate there to come across, and even more unfortunate to make contact with Andy Moore. It needs to be hards till the end now. Andy needs to box for hards till the end. I'm even going to say it in his Twitch stream. Andy, box hards to the end. There we go. Mention it to Andy in his chats. Hopefully he can see that. He has gone into the pits. But that is very unfortunate from him. Lizard Toes down, dropping the order as well. But I think it is going to be set of mediums for Andy. It's an interesting strategy call. I would have said hards to the end. I'm not quite sure if those medium tyres will last the distance. But he's here to prove me wrong. Needs to get back into the points. Of course, these penalties here that are racking up. Dom Mizzy down even further. Was there a spin? Was there contact? I'm not too sure. That front wing is intact though. the Jamaican Bacon up. Catching the likes of FaZe Kermit as well as Dilb. Dilb, of course, was net P1. Let's just double check in terms of pit stops where Dilb would actually be. So Dilb would be still net P1. No, actually net P2 because Lizard Toes is actually on a strategy but could need to box once more time. So I would say Dilb is in a good position to potentially win this race here, as it stands at least. But FaZe Kermit will try and go down the inside, even though it needs to pit one more time. Needs to gain the positions. Jamaican Bacon also needing to pit one more time, but on those soft tyres. So much more grip by the looks of it. So much more pace. A little bit of contact there from the Alpha Tauri, forcing him wide. Not what you want to see. Avoids contact. That will be a track limit warning, though, I believe, for cutting that chicane. Not too sure if it has given it or not, but that could be a warning that might get removed from a time penalty if it was to strike. Facecam, though, in a decent position so far. Him behind Dilb, of course, needs to box one more time. Lizard Toes also needing to box one more time. Dilb needs to get past Lizard Toes here. But we will go on board with Andy real quick, as I believe he is clipping something. I've got his live stream on in the background, and I did hear him say, what is he doing, multiple times. But Lizard Toes is dropping. Old hards, old mediums even can't face those new mediums. New mediums are going to be so much faster. Like I've said previous, Nova dropping further down the order. Not what you want to see. This is a battle though. Closest battle on track here. Weaving down that first straight, using a lot of battery there. Andy looks to the outside. Nova weaving very aggressively, defending that position with all might. Not fully sure if the defending techniques are fully legal, but this is a battle. You don't really want to go out on the outside there, Andy. Stay behind him, get him in the next corner. The next deep lunge corner, middle of Sector 2. Could be a nice dive bomb on the cards here for Andy. He sets it up nicely. Will he go for it? Down the inside. Oh, that was a weave there from the Alpine driver. That's not fully acceptable, I believe. But this is an interesting battle so far. Other Alpine driver into the pits. There's been contact made here between two drivers, maybe even three drivers affected. Jamaican Bacon losing a little bit of time there from the likes of the other front runners. Is there wing damage on any of these cars though? I don't see any visible ones, so I think they're all good. But I believe Dilb may now run away with this race. Andy though down to trying to get round the Alpine. It might need to be a late lunge. There is a lot of weaving going on from the Alpine, trying to hold on that position. But Andy is past. But there's a late lunge from the inside, down the inside from Nova. Very aggressive, not necessary. But Andy is past. Needs to get away now, because Nova will try and fight this position back. A lot of time lost from Andy on Shredded there. But Shredded again, boxing, I think. I'm not too sure. 0 lap old tyres. Now around wing damage as well. The Alpines have not had a great day so far. This Alpine has got no front wing. needs the box, really. That is a badly damaged front wing as well. The turning radius of that car is non-existent. Wing fully off now. But no safety car will come out. Unfortunate there. I think Shredded was trying to aim for a safety car. But it's not going to come. Andy now back into the points in P9. One man we haven't talked much about in a while is the Jamaican Bacon. Looking to fight for a chance at good points here. Could go to the end, or close to the end at least. I think 18 lap old tyres is where you really want to get off them. 10 laps on the soft, very doable. So I think Jamaican Bacon's going to go for another 3 to 4 laps and then get on these soft tyres. But as DRS looks to the inside, it's going to be a lunge down the... Oh, the switchback from the Red Bull trying to get the position back. It's not going to work. Jamaican Bacon is going to go through. And wow, he has cleared the likes of Lizard Toes in one corner. 1 second away now from the likes of Lizard Toes. Now the Jamaican Bacon just needs to catch up to Dilb and Elite Shots. But by the looks of it, Shredded Meats has already been lapped. First driver lapped today was Shredded Meats. So, round of applause to Shredded Meats for being the first driver lapped. I'm only joking. It's always unfortunate when a driver gets lapped. But there is a car off the track. And that is going to be a Williams in the wall. And there's going to be another yellow flag coming out as well for the likes of Nova. Is this a safety car? Safety car opportunity? I'm not too sure. There are a lot of yellow flags happening. I think it could be a safety car crash gate, and it is a virtual safety car that has came out. I think what we've seen there is a little bit of sneaky tactics from some of these drivers, parking it on track because they know they have no chance of coming back into this race, causing a safety car. And it is a full safety car. A full safety car has came out here. But a lot of these drivers will be pitting now. Dilb also into the pits. Could that be for some new softs? All of these drivers that have saved a new set of softs could be in for a great points position now. It's given the opportunity of the likes of Shredded Meats to unlap himself, I believe. As well as Nova and Pharrell potentially. But I think at the same time, I think they might be just that little bit too far behind to unlap themselves. So we could see some drama similar to the 2021 F1 season, where lapped cars could be allowed to overtake, but they might not be allowed to overtake the safety car here. It'll be very interesting to see what happens, but Andy Moore, though, will be now on set of softs. Hopefully they're not too used. I've got a feeling they will be roughly, I've got to say, about 6% used maximum. They will be the qualifying tyres. So he will be fast. Dilb though, on the soft tyre compound. Elite Shots has chosen the hards. I don't think that was the correct strategy call there from Elite Shots. But we shall find out very shortly. Safety car crash gate. Pharrell gets a 5-second or a drive-through for speeding under safety car. Nova has been disqualified from the session after picking up too many penalties. So that will be the first driver disqualified this season. That is unfortunate there from Nova. But we have a late safety car. And in this time, I would like to pull up some of the statistics. And currently, as it stands, these are our penalties. So Dilb has got a 5-second penalty. Not quite sure how you get a 5-second penalty, but he has got one. Maybe that is speeding into the pit lane. Maybe that will cost his race chances. Fastest lap is going to go to Elite Shots, as well as, let's find it real quick. I don't quite know where it's at. It will be here. Everyone is on a 2-stop. Andy Moore is on a 3. Shredded Meats is on a 3. And Pharrell is on a 3. And Nova was on a 3 before the DSQ. Jamaican Bacon down 4 positions from the qualifying start. Dilb up 3. Elite Shots up 2. Currently, my driver of the day would be Dilb. But we all have to see what will happen in the rest of this race. It's not over yet. It's all to play for still. It will be interesting to see when the safety car does go in, because some of these soft runners will have a lot of tyre space. And a lot of space to improve their positions. So, safety car is in this lap. Elite Shots has gapped a lot of things here. And there is many cars wide over here now. I think Andy might have some sort of wing damage potentially. Not too sure. Shredder Meat's past at least. The Mizzy fighting to try and get past Dilb. Those grey clouds, could we see a wet end to this race? But let's find out some of these information. Dilb sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, looking like he's going to get my vote for the driver of the day. Sat currently in P2, 3 temps behind Elite Shots. Elite Shots on those hards, Dilb on the softs. It's only a matter of time before Dilb takes the lead of this race. And there looks to be another car around. That looks to be the likes of Shredded Meats. Alpine not having a good race yet again. So far, a lot of close battles out on track. Oh, and the two cars have collided there, causing Lizartos to go into the side of one of them. Andy Moore has now crept up a couple positions and allowed himself to get inside of some sort of point race for potentially a chance at a P5 position here. Having a good race so far, kept it clean most of the race. A little bit unfortunate with the Zonic accident, but apart from that, he's kept a really clean race so far. Zonic in front of Andy. Could we see history repeat itself with a potential collision going down into the final quarter, or the third to last corner, the first corner in Sector 3? We might not, because Demizzi has now been overtaken by Zonic. But Demizzi might try fight this position back. I won't be surprised if he does try to. Elite Shots is currently leading this race though. Dilb just behind. Kermit the Frog not too far behind, but right on the back of him is the Jamaican Bacon. Andy on the back of the Haas now, potentially trying to overtake or make an overtake possible. Pharrell far back, but I don't know if the ghosting is going to come into play here. So Pharrell might actually have to let these drivers pass and try and not make too much crashes. As there has been a crash, Dilb has gone into the back of Pharrell. Ghosting isn't on. I can now confirm that. And I think because of that, Elite Shots has actually potentially gone ahead and won this race now. 2-second gap for Dilb to close. It's going to be hard to do that on old tyres. The Jamaican Bacon will be getting DRS from his teammate very shortly. Face Kermit on the back of him. Andy 1.4 off the back of Zonic. Shredded Meats has retired. Full course safety car. Andy might want to box two soft tyres yet again here to have a chance of gaining any chance. A lot of these drivers need to box to the soft tyre compound. Dilb stays out on old tyres. Big mistake. The Jamaican Bacon also stays out on old tyres. This could also be a big mistake here from these two drivers. Elite Shots has fitted new tyres and they look like they are the soft compound. Let's get these tyres back on screen. All these drivers with the old lap tyres, they will get gapped insanely quick by these new tyres. And he has gone onto 7 lap old medium tyres, so I don't think he is going to increase any way, shape or form here in his position. That could have been a very bad pit stop there for Andy Moore. But Dom Izzy down in P8 now. On new tyres, so with a chance of doing some greatness, making greatness happen. Pharrell has already been lapped. Nearly but the whole pack. Only Demizzi hasn't lapped Pharrell. But I think Pharrell is slowly starting to overtake the likes of some of these drivers. So has overtaken Andy Moore, I believe, in an attempt to try and unlap himself. But I'm not quite sure if it will happen. Farrell, 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Desperately trying to unlap himself before the safety car comes to an end, I believe. But he's got to be close to getting a disqualification, especially if the penalties are coming up for ignoring yellow flags. There's a drive-through penalty for ignoring yellow flags. There might not be many more penalties left in the FIA's books for this. And there is the disqualification for multiple penalties ignoring yellow flags. 2 drivers disqualified. One on a Nintendo Switch. One just a regular driver. But the Alpines haven't had a great week. The Williams so far might have. It'll be interesting to see if Elite Shots can come back into this race. But because of that extra long safety car periods, it will be in this lap. But only 2 laps to make a move. I think Jamaican Bacon has a very good chance of potentially winning this race. 2 laps remain. It's almost a shootout. Everyone equal tyres. Towards the back, I think Andy is going to get dropped to 8th place. Just because Demizzi's got faster tyres and so are the 2 drivers in front of him. I think Andy is looking at an 8th place finish tonight. But he could prove me wrong. But I don't think he will. It's going to be a 2 to 3 lap shootout. I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. This is F1RL. This is Racing Heritage live. Tier 2. What a race it's been so far. Round the final corner, Jamaican Bacon trying to get as close as possible, but not quite side by side with Dilb, because that would be breaking the rule book. Battery on for Dilb, and he has gone. The Jamaican Bacon, though, wasn't caught out by that move. Battery drained down into the first corner. Will there be a move from the Jamaican Bacon? There will be. Contact made from Dilb. A little bit of lockup of the rears. I feel like that has affected a lot of drivers behind, but not too much. The Aston Martin of Zonic down the inside of the Haas of Demizzi. Demizzi flicks the steering wheel away to avoid contact, but that has left a big gap. Andy Moore down into 8th. Like I said, it would happen. You'd almost think I'd know from experience. But Elite Shots has now got past Dilb as well. Elite Shots could well and truly win this race. I didn't expect him to get this close or this many positions in one lap. But the old tyres around Hungary, they do not last. And you are so much slower on them. I think it's only a matter of time before the Jamaican Bacon gets overtaken by Elite Shots. But there is only going to be one lap of racing left after this. Or 2 laps of racing left. DRS will be enabled for Elite Shots. Or maybe it won't. ERS has been deployed though, that's for sure. Jamaican Bacon though with 43% more. This could be very tactical from the Jamaican Bacon. Needs to hold him off for the 1 lap. Get some distance. Maybe even let Elite Shots overtake him in Sector 3 on the last lap to then get the DRS down the straight. But Elite Shots looking for the move, trying to almost force the move on the Williams driver. And down the inside, will there be a lunge into the corner? There won't be. Face come hit with a 3-second time penalty. Andy Moore is going to benefit a lot off of these penalties. Could a podium potentially be on the cards? Who knows? The Jamaican Bacon's driving with his life on the line. We've seen this happen before. 10 lap old tyres. They like to start sliding. I don't think these tyres have got enough life in them to let the Jamaican Bacon win this race, but DRS will be enabled this lap, I believe. So we will have one DRS zone to the line. And I think Jamaican Bacon needs to allow it to happen to have a chance of winning this race. Push to the outside, a little bit of a spin. I think that could be the end of this driver's race. Will it be a P2 finish? The grip difference is incredible. The Williams driver, though, he wants it. You can tell. He's got hunger. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. You can have hunger, you can have drive, you can have passion. But what you need is softer tyres with less degradation on them. As Elite Shots has just pulled out of the 1 second range, coming up to the DRS line. As there's a yellow flag, and that's Andy Moore around. What happened? I'm not sure. Elite Shots, though, will come around the final corner and cross the line to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Jamaican Bacon will finish second. Dilb will finish third on track. But I think it might be Lizard Toes that takes the victory here in that third position anyway. Demizzi takes fourth. Dilb takes fifth. Zonic takes sixth. FaZe Kermit takes seventh. And Andy Moore will take eighth. If he didn't have that spin towards the end, he may have even won it. But Zonic will take points for the first time in his F1RL career this season. But we will see that Mercedes driver come out on top of that podium. Boxing for them softs was the strategy. I thought it was. But a brave strategy call from the Jamaican Bacon to stay out. Very unlucky. Unfortunate, some would say, to get overtaken on the last lap. But it was bound to happen. Brilliant race from the Tier 2 drivers. And here will be our standings towards the end. Elite Shots takes first. Jamaican Bacon in second. Lizard Toes in third. Demizzi in fourth. Dilb in fifth. Zonic in sixth. FaZe Kermit in seventh. Andy Moore in eighth after a brilliant race from him, but it's just unfortunate. Shredded Meats takes ninth. 2 points. Will that be a 2 points? I'm not too sure. He did DNF, so we'll find out. Pharrell disqualification and Nova disqualification in 10th and 11th. But wow, what a race from the tier 2 drivers. Here is all of our track limit warnings and penalties for what they got warning through, just in case we do need to get these on screen. And then here were the pit stop strategies. Some used a lot of front wings, a lot of tyre swaps, and some late safety car drama. But that will be our race. Dilb takes the fastest lap and the fastest lap point. But wow, what a race from the Tier 2 drivers around Hungary. Tune in tomorrow at 7 PM to see potentially one of the championship deciding races in Tier 1. 7 PM. Mark it on your calendars. We'll see you tomorrow.